Everyone, Zeddy here again with more mini set card reviews from the upcoming mini set Return to Naxxramas, and we have one of my favorite Paladin cards I think I've ever seen. It's such a rad legendary, and well, can Warrior be saved? Rage Warrior is okay. They need some help. We'll find out. And if you want to win some of these cards, we have a giveaway going on for 4 mini sets out of my pocket. All you have to do is like and comment in the video in the description below, the one we're looking at here. By the way, why have I not disliked this yet? Terrible content. You have to like it though, and as well as be subscribed to the channel, and you have a chance to win. If we hit 64,000 subs by the time we announce the giveaway next week, I'll add another mini set to the giveaway, so hit that sub button, make me go broke. So starting off with the Paladin cards, we have Knight of the Dead, which is a 3-mana 5/5 undead. It's like thematic, right? And that's a lot of stats for 3 mana. What's the catch here? Well, it has Battle Cry. Deal 5 damage to your hero, which is, you know, pretty significant. That is what you know, it's a portion of your health. You take that 6 more times or 5 more times, you're dead. But Mana Thirst 7, you restore 5 health to your hero instead. So you wait till later in the game, you heal. So it's kind of anti-synergistic in that way, that you want to play it early instead of minion, play an aggressive deck, and the upside of the card is healing, which you don't care about later, but you also have the upside of the stats, right? So maybe it could be like a flexible little card, maybe with a legendary we'll take a look at later. But overall, I don't see this as a great card. Stats in Hearthstone are pretty rarely matter, but in Paladin it can a bit more, especially when you're playing all your buffs and all of that. Might be okay-ish, but I don't think it slots into those like more aggressive lists, and the healing decks just have better healing. Like, you got the dragons that heal Holy Mackie roll, you got your hero card. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. I don't see it making the cut, but maybe after rotation, when options are more limited, this card could pop up and the Undead Tribe can be relevant. But I'm gonna say it's more of like a good arena pick. Most often where health isn't that big a deal, you can kind of take that burn. We have a new dragon. Well, a mech dragon, Gold Wing. It is a 4 mana, 3/5, has rush and battle cry. If you're holding a mech, gain Wind Fury. So this can come down, it can be hand buffed, all that good stuff. Also, because it's a dragon, you have that the card that recently got buffed that gives your minions you summon Taunt and Divine Shield. If you're holding a mech on top of that, you could have right out of your hand Taunt, Divine Shield, and Wind Fury, and then he could buff this up, and we know with like Crab Rider that could be really good. Crab Rider was 2 mana and had 4 health, a little bit more sticky and early based, but overall it's a solid card, and there's a lot of good mechs to run in Paladin, particularly just thinking about, you know, the Curator, I'm thinking a little bit ahead. That's a wild mech. I'm thinking about the Leviathan, which is the colossal minion, which is an incredibly good mech. You have other stuff in there, but you know, you maybe get that upside, but you really need to probably get that upside. This is probably more of a discover option. I don't see it as being a card you're probably gonna hard run, but look out for it. It's got a possibility. I am gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard and wild, but this one I could be wrong on, because that's a powerful effect, and there's a lot of other synergies going on with it. And the reason I mentioned the Curator is because I'm very excited about this new legendary, the Purator, a throwback to the Curator, which was a mech. This isn't. We'll go into that in a second. But instead of 7 mana, it is a 5 mana 4/6 taunt. However, it's Battle Cry. If your deck has no neutral cards, it's a pure Paladin card, draw a minion of each minion type. And Paladin has access right now, just in standard off the top of my head. You've got a pirate, you've got undeads, you got mechs, you got dragons, you got beasts, at least 5 tribes that I can think of. You got an elemental and rag light lord too, at least 6. So this could be 5 mana 4/6, draw 6 cards. But even if it draws like 2, 3, that could be really powerful, really good effect. It doesn't work with the Mistake, which I tweeted at Mark when he was talking about all the tribes available to Paladin. Like, your tweet's a mistake, you can include the Mistake, but then I'm like, oh wait, it's a mistake because that's a neutral card. Doesn't work. But still, this is a really good card. Pure Paladin is just gonna run this. They already run a bunch of different tribes anyways. Particular, you know, you have the 9 mana 5/5 taunt that becomes 0 mana really quickly. Again, we mentioned the Leviathan, you run that in like every deck, and you can, you know, put in the Lifesteal Discover Dragon, you can put in Naxxramas. There's so many like different good tribal minions Really good card. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in standard. In wild, I give it a 3, where pure Paladin isn't quite as powerful, but I think it slots in there. But a really cool card, really awesome card. And the reason it's not a mech, by the way, if you're wondering that, because the Curator was a mech, Leo went on to Twitter to explain the old Curator was actually wrong. It should have never been a mech, since Arcane Guardians and Golems aren't mechs. See Arc Splitter in March of Lich King. As far as we know, we never changed it since the card saw enough play where we didn't want to remove gameplay from it. But I mean, how many of you guys got severely punished by EMP Operative, right? Like, come on. But no, that's why it should never have been in the first place. And well, let's take a look at the Warrior cards. And well, is Warrior saved? Well, we got 3 Warrior cards, starting off with Flesh Shaper, a 6 mana 3/8 undead minion. It is taunt, so like Ancient of Blossoms back in the day, if you remember that card. Battle Cry, if you have 5 or more armor, summon a copy of this, so you get a 6 mana, what? Yeah, you get 2 3/8, so that's pretty good for 6 mana. And if you played the 1 mana, the recently buffed 1 mana spell, I can't remember the name of it. It's a terrible card, at least Last Stand. I don't even remember. You double its stats, right? You double its stats. It's a copy of this, right? So this gets buffed. You double it. You have a 6/16 double. That is a ridiculous amount of stats. However, that card doesn't go off the mana thirst on it, I believe, till 8 mana or 7 mana, something like that. Very slow, but that is a lot of stats. Is this finally gonna make Taunt Warrior a thing? I really doubt it, but you never know. Pretty good arena card, even without the battle cry going off. Not bad, but on ladder, you absolutely need the battle cry to go off, and you probably need it to be more than just a 3/8. Druid right now is a 6 mana tradable spell that gives 2/2/7 taunts, and I thought that card would be incredible. It's just whatever. And this is a little bit better than that with the battle cry going off, but overall, you really need to get a buff on it, and we have never seen that work for Warrior. Like, outside of like a variant in Wild of like really rapid fire quest warrior in a couple of metas, it just hasn't happened. I don't think it's terrible. I might be wrong on it. Maybe it will work well enough with the buffing and getting the copy of it, but you have to have the armor on top of it. Like, there's a lot that needs to happen. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5 in standard and wild. I feel like they keep trying to make Taunt Warrior a thing, and it just never wants to happen outside of like Ungoro very briefly. We have a new pirate, which looks pretty ridiculous actually. Hookfist 3000. It is a 3 mana 4/3 mech and pirate. After your hero attacks, you gain 4 armor and draw a card. That is really good. There used to be like I think a Boulder Fist Ogre style card that you would attack and you would gain, I think, 5 armor if you attacked. For half the mana, you gain almost the same amount of armor, plus you draw a card. This is a really good card. In Wild, particularly, like if the Zots first made an Ankar and all of that, of course you have the Pirate Quest, which always draws you a weapon, and yeah, you're getting a card, you're getting armor. It's an aggressively statted, premium statted 3-drop. Really good card. I have no idea what it goes into, but it's just, yeah, it's card draw, it's a body, it's potential armor. I'm gonna give it a 4 to 5 in standard and wild. I have no idea what it goes into. Could play an Odd Warrior, I guess, but it's just got so much good stuff going on. Multi-tribe, card draw, armor gain. I just can't see this card not being good. What universe is this card not good? But I mean, it could just not, it could be in Warrior, and Warrior sucks and you don't play it, but I mean, come on, it's doing so much. It'll eventually be good, at least. I'm pretty convinced of that. And then lastly, we have a card, Training Session. 1 mana, you discover a taunt minion. We've seen that before. Literally have seen that before. This is straight up power creep on that old 1 mana discover a taunt minion card, because if you play it this turn, the taunt itself, you can discover another one. And if you play that, you can repeat it. You're pretty limited on your mana. The best you're probably gonna do is get like 2, maybe 3 discovers, and that's okay. But like, what deck is playing this? Where? And you get taunt minions. It's not class. It's not warrior taunt. So a bunch of crappy neutrals and stuff. I don't see it. You keep trying to make Taunt Warrior happen, Blizzard, but it's just not going to be a thing. I'm thinking like that old Mean Girls meme. Fetch is not going to be a thing. Yes, I'm an old man quoting Mean Girls, which is actually an old movie now. I just feel really old, and Hearthstone's almost... Anyways, let's... I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. Standard Wild, I don't think it's that great, but it could see play maybe in Wild in the Ungoro Warrior quest. It's just gonna break the meta. So there you go. Those are the cards for Paladin and Warrior. In a couple of hours, we'll have another video talking about Mage and Demon Hunter, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you very soon. Hit the sub button, like button, all the buttons to enter the giveaway. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.